toll in this country is approaching 15,000 as officials believe some hot spots are beginning to reach their peaks.
New York continues to record its deadliest days. The virus has claimed the lives of more than 4,200 people in New York City alone. The governor has ordered flags to be lowered to half staff in honor of the victims. Meanwhile, in Washington, the first state to be hit hard by this outbreak, a field hospital is being returned to FEMA. Governor Inslee says the resources were requested before social distancing practices took effect, but he warns that Washington state is not out of the woods yet.
A delivery team got a hero's welcome at a Connecticut hospital. They had driven overnight to Kentucky to pick up 4 ventilators after learning that it was going to take 7 to 10 days to get the badly needed equipment. And Marriott is delivering their own form of relief to healthcare workers. The hotel chain has pledged to provide $10 million in free rooms for first responders serving in hot spots around the nation. Well, Costco is also trying to offer some help to people fighting this virus on the front lines.
Yeah, the retailer is temporarily providing priority access to all healthcare workers and first responders. They just need to show an ID and they can move to the front of the line. Well, this pandemic is taking a toll on transit workers in Detroit. After the recent death of a bus driver, the city has secured 20,000 masks to distribute to passengers.
And after 3 workers were killed by the virus in the Philadelphia area, the transit schedules there are being drastically reduced starting today. Vice President Mike Pence warned that Philadelphia is emerging as another potential hotspot for the virus, and Pittsburgh also being monitored for a possible rise in cases.
With new hotspots growing around the country, our Susan McGinnis takes a closer look at the number of fatalities.
The United States, in the midst of one of the most dire weeks yet for coronavirus losses, models show 61,000 Americans may lose their lives by August, but that's half of what was originally projected.
Numbers are changing, and they're changing rapidly, and soon we'll be over that curve, we'll be over the top.
Getting the credit, Americans' diligence in following social distancing guidelines.
We are still in awe, really, of the American people's strength in this and following through.
President Trump wrestling with the timing of getting Americans back to work soon, but not too soon.
We're hopefully heading toward a final stretch, the light at the end of the tunnel, as I was saying.
The death toll rising past 14,000, with New York setting another single-day death record and facing an expected peak in the next 24 hours.
The bad news isn't just bad. The bad news is actually terrible.
But the good news is cases and hospitalizations in New York appear to be leveling off, an indicator the stay-at-home order is working.
We need to keep mitigating. We know that this is something that is a strain on the American public, but it's just something that we have, not only the only tool, it's the best tool.
The CDC also issuing new guidelines allowing some essential workers who are exposed to the virus to return to their jobs if they are asymptomatic and follow strict guidelines to protect others. Susan McGinnis, NBC News, Washington.